Damn street niggas, we ain't really comfortable with all of that attention. So what you trying to say?
Do what you do, baby.
I want congrats. I seen to come up through the mud. You feel me?
Real.
Yeah. I'm saying, like I said, I used to be top. I'm one of the ones. When that nigga said he had a phone, his whole joke, man, I'm looking at the screen like preach. Cause I was on the phone with him. You feel me? So you know what I'm saying?
Do your intro, man.
Why you catch me off guard? Welcome to the 24/7 grind. And you're now Joseph with an hour with the elders. Well, it looks like deceiving, but our team is achieving. There's nothing too great, nothing too small. Come on and chit chat. Let's talk about it all.
Chunky, you can't. I need to.
Well, yeah, man.
There you go. Hello.
All right, there we
Hello.
go. There we go. All right, I want to thank everybody for being with us on this very, very special episode of Hour with the Elders, special edition of House of a Legend. We have Eric's mother, my mama too, Miss Dorothy, and we got the legendary G Slim, little brother, Bowen. I'm gonna say Mo. Mo. Can y'all introduce yourselves and y'all lost legend, please?
Hi, my name is Dorothy Harris, and I am the sister of the world famous Cash Money Rockers Brian and Slim Williams. And I am also the mother of the legendary BG Derrick, born October, not born October, deceased Halloween 10/31st, 2002. We'll get to all that ready. Y'all, I'm a little nervous.
It's all good, man. You know we got you. You heard me. Go get it to him, Mo.
Was down with it. Mo Better. You hear me? Go by Morris. Mo Better Young on Facebook and just about every other platform. The younger sibling, one of the younger siblings of the legendary G Slim Deuce from Big Boy Records, Boot Camp Click,
Pioneer.
15 Walls Finest.
Pioneer. So is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I want to kick it off like this. Mo. Mo, don't do this, Mo. Mo, don't.
You said Mo. I thought you were about to ask me something.
He's still with us.
Oh, all right. It went quiet for a minute. I was like, "What happened?"
Joe said OG. That's him. Joe said OG.
No, you said Mo. I'm waiting.
So okay, you hold a very special position in your family. You literally the last of a generation. Would you like to get into that and that big responsibility that is on you, Mo?
Well, so what he talking about is very valuable position. Definitely, I'm the big brother by default. You know what I mean? Had two older brothers before me, Kenneth G. Slim Jackson and Quan Rugged the Governor Young. You know what I mean? That's my two older brothers. Both of them are deceased. Oh, I'm the middle child of my mom's five, and I'm the oldest boy left. So I'm the oldest sibling left. I'm the oldest male left. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely the head of the family, so to say, by default. I do have another younger brother right under me who's also incarcerated. So I'm also the only brother left, the only son my mom has that's even available to her. You know what I mean? And even available to the rest of the family, all my nieces, all my sisters, all my nephews, even all my aunties. You know what I'm saying? So that's real important, especially when you really identify with how important it is for men in the family. You know what I mean? We all are important in the family. You know what I'm saying? But being the oldest male, that just take on kind of a different role by default that I've come to learn and embrace. You know what I mean? Over the years.
Now you know you're a good friend, but I gotta put you on the spot. Now you said all that, right? But you got mad at me because I depicted you like that in the promo. But I ain't used the picture that you sent. So you fussed at me, you heard me? But it's all good. It's all good, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Does that put any extra pressure on you, Mo? Or you just living life on life terms and taking everything one day at a time?
well, to be honest, it really don't put pressure on me. Like when I first, just naturally, it's
Have
just
you ever thought about it like that? Because I
no.
know
I think about it like that more now that I'm bringing it to it. Or if I have to talk about it, then I think about it like that. You know what I mean? It's brought to the real, the realization of it is brought more to the forefront of my mind. But man, all this time, Slim died in 1996. You know what I mean? Quan died in 2005 before Hurricane Katrina. It just kind of been, I'm next up. It is what it is. It's second nature. You know what I mean? So I don't really think about it like that. So it's not really a lot of pressure. Now, when I do really sit and think about it, I'm like, dang. You know what I mean? It could be a lot. You know what I'm saying? But no pressure.
it is
Do you believe
Junkie,
you?
baby.
before we go any further and I start asking mom's question, OG,
Give me some
OG,
more.
Huh?
I'm so,
could you say a prayer for BG Derek, G Slim, and all the other fallen lost soldiers that we lost along the way?
All right. Well, first and foremost, we just want to thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for life today. Being able to use this platform as a avenue for people to tell their stories and offer healing and inspiration to others who are in the same predicament that they're in, going through the loss of a loved one. For Mo is G, for Sister Dorothy is her son, Derek, and countless of other Black mothers across this nation who are mourning the loss of their sons to senseless murder. We just want to pray continued peace, continued healing, and that the Lord see fit to make them whole, and give them the ability to navigate throughout their day to day, although they have to carry such a painful burden until they are blessed to see their loved ones again. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
if I could, I just want to ask y'all to bear with me because not only my brother, I'm also a father, and it's just me and her here. I gotta, for the whole for the summer basically.
Man, we ain't tripping on that.
So I just, it might be a
You
little
know,
interruptive a little bit.
that's life running around there, partner. That's a good thing.
Definitely.
My grandbaby always on the live.
Yeah.
That is no distraction at all. You understand?
Thanks for the prayer, most definitely.
Yes.
The people
For sure. Amen.
quite a little bit. It's not gonna be long.
We need a lot more of it these days.
Hmm.
Okay, hit it, baby.
How do you think you have, not how, but do you think you've found ways to suppress and cope with the trauma of all of your losses and setbacks with your brothers?
I think I have, to be honest with you. not talking about it, or awards me the benefit of not being confronted with it sometimes. You know what I mean? Just going about everyday life. You know what I mean? It don't really hit you. Some days it do, some days it don't. You know, like his birthday or something like that might hit, or the day he died might hit. You know what I
Right.
mean? Both of my brothers, to be honest with you. I mean, that's not the only siblings I've lost either. You know, I got my god brother, my stepsister, like it's, a lot of love. I mean, even my daddy just passed away just last September. So I think um
My
just kind of
condolences.
not thinking about it and moving forward and staying focused on what needs to be done for my kids that had siblings and stuff like that. I think it kind of make it easy to cope with it to a degree, but definitely I think I've come to grips with trying to cope with it or coping with it like second nature without even thinking about it.
We all know New Orleans is a beast, to say the least. So how do you navigate now? Mentally, emotionally, for the sake of your children, yourself, because you got a lot of responsibility on your shoulders now. We just heard you talk about, all of the weight you carry. So how do you how do you compartmentalize dealing with all of that and still have time for more, to keep yourself sane and keep yourself whole emotionally and spiritually?
I think I think it's all inclusive. I think it goes hand in hand because if I wasn't together spiritually and emotionally, it would be more difficult to cope with it and more difficult to be what it is that I need to be for those that actually need me to be it. You know what I mean? So I definitely gotta say it's all glory up, man. All glory to God that who has blessed me with the mental capacity to be able to
To be able,
compartmentalize, you know what I mean, and differentiate and separate and have the emotion, understand the importance of emotional intelligence, and then understand how to navigate and apply that emotional intelligence to be that example for all my kids and for all those that are around. So I think it's kind of go hand in hand. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? Because that situation forced me to be great mentally, and being great mentally is a necessity for what I need to cope with that loss.
on the real. So
He just said you don't talk like that. You're showing off.
But I
He
told him
said
I
he
talk
don't know
like
what
that.
happened. He can't get back in. He wants to know, in our opinion, how can we stop other loved ones from losing a loved one to violence? In my opinion, we can't. We can't. We can preach and pray, but until people change themselves, we can't change them because most of our people lose their life over dumbness, over jealousy and envy. So we can preach and pray, but until people change and see there's a better way out and there's consequences for the things they do in life, it won't change.
It
That's
won't
my
change.
opinion.
I agree.
Well, I agree with that. And to add to it, I kind of feel like it's a catch 22. Because I have this theory that some have to die for others to live. You know what I mean?
True,
Some
true.
don't
I
even
feel you.
understand. Some don't
That's
even
true.
understand the importance of their life until they have to live it for that loved one that they lost. You know what I mean? Then their life takes on more meaning.
Yeah. Well, there are casualties in war, even in spiritual warfare.
Yes.
Spiritual warfare is the most important warfare.
And
Right.
you took it right out of my mouth. And that's the most important battle we fighting every day.
Definitely.
Um, what do you think are some of the measures that can be taken to quell the violence in the city? Or do you think, as I always have, I've always told people when they ask me, why are y'all so violent in New Orleans? And I tell people it's not so much that, we violent in New Orleans, people violent everywhere, partner, what you mean? But I think a lot of it is rooted in historical background, history, demonic activity. How do you feel about the violence in New Orleans? Do you think it's just rooted in lack, corruption, or do you feel it goes deep?
I feel it's all inclusive. Again, I feel like there's definitely a lot of spiritual pollution on the grounds of New Orleans because of the history and because of the things that has happened and because of the ancestors that had to activate certain spiritual
Attributes,
weapons to try to protect
protect. Yep,
their family members
I
moving
got you.
forward and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I think it's all inclusive. Plus, on top of that, that creates a whole environment of people that are technically ready for war, whether it's spiritual warfare, whether it's just survival of the fittest. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like we're actually violent. I feel like we are understanding of what it takes to survive in an environment that we was forced to deal with. You know what I mean? So I don't think of it as violent. I think of it as assertive or perfectly aggressive at in the time.
In
Now,
the time. Yep,
those that might lack emotional intelligence, you know what I mean, might just run to aggression or anger more than others because unfortunately in the world we live in, when you approach things from a calm, kind, gentle aspect, people tend to take advantage of that. So we do understand that we do have to have some type of aggressive
aggression.
nature
Yep,
with us to even earn that respect. And then over the years, just our culture, we tend to lack respect for someone who can't even tap into that aggressive side
I agree with you.
by default. Because the irony is we are actually a very loving city.
I agree. What do you feel is the overall problem with this issue? Because just here recently, they had 100 plus um, shootings over one weekend in Chicago, over 20 people murdered. So it's not just in the city of New Orleans, it's an epidemic everywhere. What do you feel has caused these kids to go so far left?
I think anger for so many people is a coping mechanism. Uh, so many people just use anger to um to um to solidify their respect or things of that nature. And I think, like I was just not mentioning, people tend to get more respect when they get aggressive. You know what I mean? So in return, they feel like, well, that's the only thing that they respect, and that's what I'm gonna be, because I'm gonna die for my respect, and I'm gonna earn this, and you gonna respect my mind. And taking on all those type of mindsets, it kind of blinds us. You know what I mean? A lot, and we just react, and it's abroad. You know what I mean? And then I feel like people people wanna deem themselves so, man, I'm grown. You can't tell me nothing and this and that. And they feel like the way to prove that they're grown is to show that I could take a life. I could do this. I could hold my own. And sometimes all they have is that power, you know what I mean, that they get from when they standing behind those weapons.
Right. Sis, from a mother's perspective, Peanut said, tell us how losing Derek changed your life. How did that affect you then? How, do, how does it affect you today? And how do you cope?
Losing Derek. When I lost Derek, I lost a part of me because when they killed Derek, a part of me died right along with Derek. And that's a everyday thing that I live with. You know, like you say, you have good and bad days. You don't know how your day gonna be. You have good and bad days. But I cope with it by keeping his memories alive because I'll never let his memory die. I still love New Orleans. I love the city of New Orleans, even though, my son loved New Orleans. He gave a lot of love to New Orleans, but is how soon that many forget because in New Orleans we got like secret lovers, secret fans. I'm gonna say secret fans. You got these fans who like love you in secret and comment in secretive, but they don't want the world to know. But then, and that's not everybody in New Orleans because I feel like our city don't support somebody that you love that's legendary. And that don't change because you can't undo his history. That's been done. It can't nobody undo that there. And I feel like that's taking his life stole so much away from me. It took away from my son to never know. I mean, he knew his brother because he was 7 years old, but to never get to really live life with a big brother, and to have I have a grandbaby that would never know that she has Derek as an uncle. Well, she'll know about him, but it's like physically she won't know of him and stuff like that. There, I have times that I break down, and I have to break down on my son, and I know it carries a lot of weight on him when he's seeing me go through this here. I have to deal with social media with the haters and the love, but the love always outweigh the hate. But I had to deal with these band riders and all of this here. Or show, like I say, you show secret love and support because of who my family may be or woo de woo. Y'all don't want you want it to be seen because y'all want to be relevant to them, and the dead can't speak for himself. So it's a lot that I deal with, and a lot of time I don't comment on stuff because my son tell me don't entertain it. But yes, it makes me angry, and I just see where Derek life was going to be bigger than he was going to be just as big as the rest of my Cash Money family and a lot of stores, not just them, but a lot of stores that's living legends today. I know Derek was going to be that same person. So it took a lot away from us.
Let
I
me
was,
ask you.
uh,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was say the struggle probably wouldn't even be so hard, but it's a blessing because I thank God for those 21 years and for giving me a son that's known all around the world.
I want to ask both of y'all this here. Being from the South, all of us have strong roots in the church. Whether it was mama, you know, big mama, somebody in the house took you to church when you was coming up. What part do you all feel the church today plays in the loss of so many young black men, or do you all feel the church plays a part at all? And I ask that because there was a time when we were growing up when the church was present in the neighborhood, and we don't see that anymore. So, do you all think that plays a part in the breakdown of the black family nucleus like we see it today?
I think it do. I mean, when I had Derek coming up, I was in the church and my pastor, he broke his neck to us to pray with us and be with us, do anything he could to help us. At that time, he even baptized Derek. And today, it's like you're not relevant in the community with the church and stuff like that unless you're doing something special with putting out money. Not all churches, but a lot of them. You know, you you
Most,
you breaking them out, but it's not like it was when we were coming up because now you're teaching prosperity opposed to teaching a person how to save their soul because your soul matter most.
I I
Mo,
agree.
we can hear you.
I don't know what happened. Y'all can hear me?
We can hear you, we can't see you. There you go.
I can't see many people. I mean, it's loading. All right, I see OG. What's up, OG? You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can
You
see
can't
me?
see me. I see you. You can't
Yeah,
see
I can
me.
see. I
Yeah,
can
we
see.
can
Yeah, I can
see
see
you.
you, man. Y'all can
Okay.
see me too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so I think it's the politics involved. I think it got more about politics. Man, I'm reminded of the word that God says, "Give and look for nothing in return." So I think the
there you
motive,
go.
of the church is they're only doing things that benefit the church as
Yep,
opposed to not even concerning themselves with the benefits
with
thereof
the
the
people
church because
anymore.
God gonna bless the church and the church should be more concerned with the benefits of the spirit that they're gonna touch in the community. You know what I mean? So
There
I
you
think
go.
I think the motives is what change. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And because the motive changed, you know what I mean? Most people kind of could see through it. You know what I'm saying? Some still have the wool pulled over their eyes, but most people can kind of see through it, and most people they want more. You know what I mean? It's not just about prosperity, because prosperity gonna come as long as you're
Yeah.
rich in the spirit. You know, poor is a mindset, rich is in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that plays a major part with why a lot of, especially a lot of younger men
Men.
don't have as
Yep.
much faith, trust, or belief in the church. And then with all of the information, all of the knowledge that people can run to, I think they're running to look for a reason to not believe in the church, to back what they may feel or believe according to what they see. And not everybody can make the connection abroad of how it all works hand in hand. You know what I mean? So you got more people being combative because it just seems more disingenuous when the church trying to connect. It don't seem like a genuine attempt to save souls. It seems more so like a genuine attempt to save legacy, to save finances, to save themselves.
What advice would you all give to other mothers or brothers in your position? You know, what advice would you give them, to those who have lost loved ones and to those who have loved ones who are out there on the verge right now and being mule-headed and stubborn and not wanting to listen? What advice would you offer them, to
Well,
those loved ones?
I would say, well, first of all, don't stop loving them, even if they're on the verge. Keep on drilling in their head, because sometimes they'll hear your voice, like you say, you raise them in the way that they should go. But to the mothers that have lost their children, for me myself, I keep my child memory alive. I never let my child die. So it's like, make memories with your children. Make good memories with your children. Everything don't be perfect days, but let your good outweigh your bad, because we all gonna die one day. No doubt. We don't know when, where, and how, but we do know one thing for sure. We're gonna die one day. So in the process of us living, let us make memories with our children so that when something happened or whenever that time come, we have no regret. I pray no mother have to bury their children, because I never look for to have to bury my child. I look for my child to bury me. But I wish that pain on nobody, because I'm not gonna say we are ever made whole, because that hole in your heart is always there. But
Mm.
we can be grateful to God for that, because what I don't do, I never put Derek above God. I'm not gonna say never, because I got mad when Derek got killed. I got mad with God because I felt like I was doing everything right spiritually, and you didn't save my child. But I got to realize you can't bargain with God on nobody's life and stuff like that. There. And
Right.
I had to go back and repent and stuff like that, because he gave me Derek. He may not have saved him on his physical world, but in the spiritual, I believe he is saved. And so I would tell any parent, don't put your child before God to the point that you start drinking, drugging, just losing yourself, like that's your world. Because I always felt like, what would I do if I lose Derek? I'm still living, I'm still standing. I never done drugs or alcohol in my life, and I'm 62 years old, but I'm
Praise
standing
God.
by my son. And I also thank God that I had another child that needed me. I had to know my baby needs me. I can't die. I can't give up. So I'll just say, keep your memories and stay on your child. I don't care how much your child don't want to hear telling you you're grown or whatever. Do whatever it takes to let them hear your voice in their head.
Amen.
And Mo, what about you, as a man, as a brother, a son, an uncle, a cousin? What would you say to these young men out here, man, on the verge, crashing out, and to those people who have already lost loved ones and are still going through that trauma?
Um, First things first, I'm reminded of the song that was played at my brother's funeral. You got to realize I was 13 when my oldest brother got killed.
I
You know what I
understand.
mean? So I was 22 when the other one got killed, but I was 13 when Slim got killed. You know what I'm saying? So I was old enough to understand a lot of things, but in that funeral, I'm just reminded of the song, man. I don't know if how you pronounce the name, Zane or Jane, is spelled Zhane or whatever, right? My mama played a song by named or called "Everything Happens for a Reason" or something of that nature. That's all I could remember. that particular part, everything happens for a reason, and just kept playing over and over and over and over and over in my head, even till this day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm 41 now, from 13. So I received that, like, we have to identify, although it might hurt. I never lost a child, and God forbid I have to endure such. I can only imagine. You know what I mean? However, I do know, and studies even show that siblings can kind of be closer than parents and children. So that loss of a
Yes,
sibling can possibly
it hurts
hit
a different way.
hit harder. You know, everybody feel it different. But I know
Mhm.
I felt it. You know what I'm saying? As a sibling, that was my oldest brother. That's my big brother. We looked up to him. That he was, he died the day before he was signing the deal to relativity. Like she said, that
Wow.
would have changed our life. The struggle may not have been as hard. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but just identifying that everything does happen for a reason, and some does have to die for others to live. I would say that when you lose somebody from a physical being from the earth, you gain an angel. So you have to know that. You know what I mean? So you have to identify that's not the time for you to give up. That's more so the time for you to go harder. You know what I'm saying? And to strive to be that one thing in life that maybe they couldn't because they're not here to see it. You know what I mean? And for those that may be on the verge of crashing out, you know what I mean? If your cousin or your brother or somebody passed away and you go crash out, your family lost too. You doubled up. You did the devil's work for them. You doubled up. You know what I'm saying? You doubled up on that L for your family. You know what I mean? And instead of doubling up on that loss, that should make it go a little bit harder to exude and exemplify love. Double up on that L as opposed to the negative one. You know what I
Two
mean?
questions. Two questions from Peanut. Um, has this loss that both of you all suffered, has it changed your love for rap music any? And what are some of the things that you all do today to keep their memories and their legacies alive?
It haven't changed my love for rap music because I still got a son that's living the legacy of his brother. He's still striving to make whatever Derek wanted to happen for us. He's still striving to make those things happen. My son, Mighty Lee. So it haven't changed. Like most say, sometimes somebody have to you have to lose somebody in order for to live. And I feel like that's what my son Mighty Lee is doing. He lost his brother, and he learned from his brother lifestyle, and he struggles to make everything possible to keep his brother memory alive and stuff like this. So for me, we commemorate him in listening to his music, my son music, in my book I wrote about Derek Hill. I wrote a book about his life or legacy. It's a true story. Mother Was Stunned by Dorothy Harris. That's on Amazon. So those are some of the ways that we remember him and celebrate him on his birthdays or whatever, whatever time that may be. But that is some of the ways that I keep his memories alive. And listening to his music, and also though that social media. Oh, that social media is something else. You run his name on social media, it goes crazy. I don't care who
Yeah,
got what's going on. Derek name coming up in there.
right. Now, was your book therapeutic for you?
Huh?
Was your book
Was it therapy?
therapy for you?
Oh, it was great writing my book. The therapeutic part would be say that I was able to do to leave this legacy, and it was hard to write it, so I'm not gonna say it was so much therapeutic, but it was a great thing that I was able to leave this legacy, and it was all because of my son Mighty Lee making sure, you know, my mama get her book out. My mama been had this book in her heart, and I'm gonna make sure. So he put that money up behind me and forced me to get on it writing and stuff like that there. But I think prayers, and my faith in God was more therapeutic for me than anything.
Gotcha.
Um, so me, uh, it did indeed drastically change uh how I felt about rap. Cause I wasn't a rapper. I was an R&B nigga. Pardon my French. You know what I mean?
It's
I
all
wasn't in, I
good.
would, you know, I wasn't no rapper. I was a sports guy. I was into sports. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't my thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't until after my brother died that, I got into music. You know what I mean? Starting from the band and everything. You know what I mean? So it actually that's probably the only reason I rap because he did and he can't. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm also reminded, you know what I mean? Don't bury your talent. Like music, making music, rapping, that was never real. That's not my dream. That wasn't my dream. You know what I mean? That was my brother's dream. But it definitely is my gift. You know what I'm saying? So I can't squander that. And especially being that, you know what I mean? My brother died at the age 21. You know what I'm saying? So he had a whole life ahead of him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that definitely changed how I even view music. You know what I mean? And then it was later on where I then got into the power of the words and even music ministry. Music ministry is like the most powerful ministry, given that Lucifer was a master musician and in charge of praise. You know what I mean? So when God bless you with the ability to make music and the talent and the skill to be able to put words together, that I receive that as that's God's way of showing you He got faith in you that you can take on the devil and win at the devil's greatest attribute. So that definitely changed the way I view rap and music altogether.
How do you?
I want to piggyback on what Mo just said. Yeah, he just made me thought about something when he said music wasn't his thing. With my son, Mighty Lee, I always told people I have one son that's going to be a pastor and the other one was going to be a rapper. And anybody knows Delvin Mighty Lee from back young, he was straight up in that word. Rapping wasn't his thing. He was 7 years old when his brother died. And for me to later find out about 8 or 9 years old, he was a great rapper because he was always bringing people to church, preaching the word of God to people, wanting to pay his own tithes in the church, and he knew every book of the Bible and all that and stuff like that. So no, I didn't look at him as being a rapper. I always told people I'm gonna have one was a rapper and one was gonna be a pastor. So yes, I think Derek's death changed Delvin's life, Mighty Lee life, to want to do music and show that he had it in him, that God had blessed him with that talent as well.
So it's safe
How
to
does
say.
Mm.
Let me
go
just
ahead, man.
interject and just put some play on words. You know what I mean? I still think you still have the rapper and the pastor because Mighty Lee is the rapper, and it's safe to say that Derek passed the mic to Mighty Lee, so it's still all
All
inclusive.
right now, Mo. All right now.
For sure, for
All
sure.
right.
How
Let me see
does
what my son gonna say something about you. Know he gonna say something about you.
Yeah, what
how
condition
does
I use? Soul
how does
food,
hearing their music today make you feel?
huh?
How does hearing their music today, when you all hear BG Derrick or G Slim's music, any of their music today, how does that make you feel?
A hit like they was ahead of their time. Both of
Right.
them was ahead of their
For
time, and I
real.
still think that both of them have music that they could put out right now, and it'll still be better than majority of the
Relevant.
music we hear
Right.
today. You know what I mean? Maybe the quality of the actual tracks that they're rapping on may not be as quality as today's sound with the way technology is, but the actual art of their rap and their music was definitely ahead of their time.
And I think
Yeah.
every time somebody is spitting, Derek, it could be at a DJ, the second line, over social media, whatever it be. I'm gonna get about 5 or 6 different posts where they sending this, they DMing me, making sure that I got this here, and it be all love. It makes me feel good that to see, you got this group of people and everybody remember my son in music and stuff, and people I don't even know, and it makes me feel great when I hear people hit me up on social media and telling me, Miss Darcy, we still love Derek. I still bump that beef ain't never scores. They go through his music and it's nothing but love. So that makes me feel good.
What are
It,
you? Go ahead,
if I
man.
could just take this time out, I do want to say, Miss Dorothy, it is definitely an honor to meet you, to
Well,
speak with you and speak to
same
you. You
here.
know what I mean? Because I grew up, I'm right probably about the same age as Derek. So I grew up like, you know what I mean, in
Right.
that time. So, you know what I mean? It's definitely an honor to even share this whole aura and area or environment with you.
Same
That's an
here.
honor.
Same here, love, because we walk in the same shoes. Because I always say the parents and the siblings are the hardest hit.
Yeah. How do you
And
all feel about the state of hip hop today? Where do you feel it's going?
Fake. Uh,
I feel a state of hip hop is an illusion. I feel like
Maybe.
prime example. I'll give you prime example. Let's use Milli Vanilli. They got banned and ridiculed and everything for lip rapping. You know what I mean? For
Lip
lip singing.
syncing. Yep.
You know what I mean? But
Yep.
now, I'll give you an example. Now, when I be doing a little more better Mondays, I'm rapping live. It's right on the spot, you know, and people would rather me go record the music and then
Rap
record
over.
me lip rapping over it to make it
Hmm.
seem more professionally done or something like that. You know what I mean? So that just lets you see and give you an example of how fraudulent music has come to be and accepted and demanded to be fake as opposed to back then.
and they filling these youngsters' mind with all this beef and stuff when you know you're not even living that life. You know, you're not even walking in those shoes, but that's the image that you're portraying.
Definitely a bunch of portraits.
Right.
Everybody
Do
around here painting a portrait. Everybody, a lot of them.
do you all believe that's the agenda for today's music to push this generation into wearing a facade?
Yes, it's been the agenda to be honest with you, man. You know when hip hop
Exactly.
started. You know when hip hop started. Hip hop, hip hop was informative. Hip hop was enlightening. You know what I mean? But
And you couldn't copy someone else's style. Their
Right.
right,
lyrics,
you
Right.
had
nothing.
to be original. Now it's all for not all the money grab, all for clout, all. So not everybody wants to use what's working for somebody else and just latch on to that and just sound just like that so that they can get in the same algorithm as that person that's having that success and have it just roll over. Now I know God say your cup runneth over, but they're abusing that idea. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, so I think that has always been the agenda of those in power to try to dilute the power associated with what hip hop stood for.
But you know, our legends can often be imitated, but we can never be duplicated. I don't care how you do. It's only one Slim. It's only one Derek. You can't take that away.
Most definitely.
That's facts. Do you all think that if we as a people would have kept hip hop ours, if we wouldn't have sought after the big labels for distribution and names and things of that nature and just got it out the trunk until we forced them to come to us like P and E40 and other people before them, maybe one or two, Jay Prince, maybe one other Luke is the other one, like they did. Do you think we dropped the ball when we let corporate America into hip hop? Do you think if we would have kept them on the outside and kept the music pure, kept it ours, like it started out, we would have less tragedy and less loss in this hip hop genre of music?
Could I go deep? Might
Sure.
not
That's what I
they might
want you
not
to
see
do.
they might not see the correlation. But when you ask that question, I'm reminded of Mound Bayou. I think that's the name of it. Yeah, Mound Bayou. If you're familiar with
Yes.
that, the all black city in Mississippi. So
Mhm.
I say that to say integration abroad depleted our power
I agree.
in every aspect. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Not just the music. You know what I mean? So integrating by integrating, we bow down and just gave them all our power. You know what I'm saying?
Gave
And
them
so that
access. Yep.
Gave them access and
Give them
gave
access.
in by asking. Not only did we give them access, we gave them control, because by integrating, that's us asking them to be a part of their
To
stuff
be a
when
part of
our
what?
stuff was the power.
I agree.
And I see that even with the second line and the Indians. And Derek, came up being an Indian. He loved being an Indian, you know. And today it's like you got all that in the midst of it. And we wasn't never a part of what they had going on, but they broke into our little thing. Now we all one big happy family, but it's not a happy family.
Do
Definitely,
you think
definitely
they're
not a happy
trying
family.
to? Do you think they're trying to wipe out our culture
Keep your
slowly
enemies,
but surely?
keep your enemies closer.
Yes, yep.
Do you all think they're trying to wipe out the culture slowly but surely?
Not,
I ain't gonna say they're trying to
not
wipe
wipe it
out the
out.
culture. What they're trying to do is own the culture,
I'm about to say
in
the
my
same
opinion.
thing.
Well,
Yeah,
I was doing my best to be polite in the
Right.
way
I
I
was about to
say
say the same thing. They
it.
try to control it.
yeah, they trying to own it. They trying to create the narrative of our
Mm-hmm.
culture. And when
Mm-hmm.
you see, and then when you pay attention, they're only creating the narrative of the most ignorant and the weakest aspects of our culture, and they're trying to highlight that and exacerbate that to being what our culture is rooted, grounded, and founded on. And that's not the truth whatsoever.
Well, once they control stuff, they eventually try to they try to whiten it completely.
Yeah,
That's
I,
the,
I think I
that's,
think I think they benefit from too much revenue to wipe it completely, and I think if they allow us to tap into and walk in the power thereof, it would work against them. So they know they can't wipe it completely, so they try to dilute it so that they can have the power associated and weaken us in return.
that's the
What do
same
you think?
way. The same way with the church. The government have no control or part of that. And once they get that way, they want y'all you done dug in everything. It's all over. You control the church. Tell us how to pray, who to pray to. You better put that book in your head in your heart and leave it there. Man can't take that away.
Hey, I'm reminded, I'm reminded of a scripture saying, teach one another with hymns, psalms, and
Songs,
spiritual songs.
spiritual songs.
Then when you think about that, when we kids, how do we learn everything that we learn? We learn our ABCs by melody. We learn
Us.
our numbers by way of melody. We learn everything in a melodic manner, in a rhythmic way. You know what I'm saying? So they know that. That's like the cheat code to teaching our spirit any and everything. So if they can control what we are conceiving and putting in, then they can control what they're gonna get out of us. And I think that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? Well, I know that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? So that's the warfare right there.
Yeah. And
That
and when I
that
say, go
Huh?
ahead, go
I
ahead.
was about to say that was my way of teaching Derek with the cassette tape recorder. I would his homework and his schoolwork. I would actually get on there and we were singing on there, and he could memorize it better than me just trying to teach him. So that was another part of him learning music because he learned from his schoolwork through music. But if you just let him did it, it was like hitting your head against a brick wall. But to put that
Mm.
music there is a
You
breeze.
can retain it. And
Hmm.
when making the statement, they whiten things. I don't mean the general public. I'm speaking about the powers that be in this country. Those who are behind the scene, the faces we don't see that are in control of those who we are shown are the powers that be in this country.
You know what?
Because
I can't agree with that. You know what I mean? Because they're definitely using the music to wipe us out. You know what I mean? So I
yeah,
see the correlation. You know what I mean? I definitely could see the correlation. You know what I mean? They're
well,
definitely using the music to wipe us out.
again, that goes back to what you were saying. People have to understand that the scripture lets us know that Satan is the prince of the air.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, and being that he was Prince of Music, made of instruments,
Right.
that's how he creeps in through media,
Right.
whether
Hey,
it's
question.
social media, television, music. He runs all of that for now.
For now, he
For now.
the God of this world
Yep.
hold everything. To
And
oh, go ahead.
that's why we need to be mindful of the narrative and the agenda they're pushing when these kids are making this music. And that's my next question I want to lead up to. Do you all feel that the artists should take a bigger stand in what they are allowing these major record companies to tell them to put out? Because I know people say, well, if they don't have the record company, then how they gonna push their music out? But I believe it works hand in hand. If these artists unite and get on one accord and say, hey, we aren't gonna make that type of music, then who are these companies gonna have to sign?
So I agree with that. I do feel like that needs to be done. And I also feel like the consumers need to stop accepting certain music, because if the consumers stop accepting certain music, that music stop doing numbers. So when that music stop doing numbers, then they gonna change. The followers gonna change up to try to make the music that's more acceptable, because everybody doing everything for clout. So they gonna do
So I see
what
what
you
you're saying. Even
they
as a
gonna do what you
consumer, we
allow.
accept the narrative.
That
Yeah.
that'll bring me to like Lil Wayne music. Like Lil Wayne was the one, he didn't have to curse it to make his music work for him, you know. And his mama stood by that there, and you know, and look at him today.
I
Right.
got
And I'm telling you.
I got
Go
the
ahead.
I read the question. I was just waiting. I was letting you talk. He been
Oh,
having a
you read his
question up there.
question?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
All
read.
right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So to speak, Mr. Tunola podcast.
They kicked my son out. Kicked my son out. They know he's wrong for that.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
we ain't worry about Mark. Forgive him, Father, for you know not what he do. But
Amen.
to answer your question, you heard me, P. Dot Nut. Uh, actually, yes, my brother Legacy. In hindsight, I do feel like I had to be real with myself. I do feel like it put extra pressure on me when doing music, because for a long time, I think it was my pride, man. I didn't want to. I didn't want to be the one running around repping my brother name like for clout to hold on to that. I always, you know, the way we come up, man, you go out here and you make your own name for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so it's that aspect of it in feeling like, man, I'm coming behind Slim. So I can't be out here standing at the
Half
front
stepping.
store selling CDs with my name written on them. You know what I mean? I was self-conscious about that. When in all actuality, if I would have swallowed my pride, that probably was my route. You know what I mean? To doing all that. But I felt like I had to come with something that looked professionally done. I had to come with something that's gonna represent what Slim went through to get to bring me where I'm at. And I felt like I had to show that in my presentation of things. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I had to have a certain standard of image, a certain standard of sound, a certain quality of lyrics, a certain quality of music. I had to have a certain quality and a whole nother level of representation solely because of who my brother was. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I couldn't come with anything lesser than, because he would be rolling over in his grave. You know what I mean? So when I look at it like that, in hindsight, I can honestly say, yeah, I guess it probably or most definitely did put some extra pressure on me, and it definitely affected the way I move and the way I went about some things pertaining to the music.
Sis, let me ask you this. With the loss of Derek, how has that strengthened and affected your relationship with Lee? And what ways did it change how you went about raising and protecting him from that as much as you were humanly possible.
With Lee, things that I did with Derek, like Derek was all that name brand this and that, I didn't go out my way to do those things for him intentionally because he could learn to not have so much value over materialistic things and stuff like that there. Um Lee and I have a very strong relationship because in church, Derek was brought up with in church, and I say this all the time. I gave Derek what I knew of God back then, but as he passed and me living on, I gathered a relationship with God, and I can't give you something that I don't have myself. So
Right.
I gave him what I knew, and Lee got more of that same thing, more of that relationship with God. But Derek always knew that God was first in your life. I'm never first in your life, Just always give honor to God. So, but that relationship wasn't as strong as it was in raising Lee and stuff like that. So he learned to not be so much of a materialistic person and value what he have because he know it wasn't easy for me to come by those things for him. He with respect, he is a very respectable young man and stuff like that there. And he wants to give me the world, and I know this here, and it's a struggle, because even with him doing music and all this here, and having a hip hop shop and all, he still have to go out there and punch that clock because it's
Yeah.
not it's not enough to carry the overhead for everything. So he still have to go out there just like anybody else, and he punches that clock. He have a new daughter, that a 3-year-old daughter that he has to provide for as well. So I think it taught him to be a better man, and he's not a follower of people. He's not that like Derek loved people. Derek just loved to have friends, and everybody he loved everybody. Well, Mighty Lee not gonna take to everybody. He gonna really examine you, and he have to really feel you to put you a part of his circle. So I just feel like it made him see, and he got to see. For one time, he didn't listen to his brother music. I guess it was painful for him. And like Mo said, he wanted to walk in his own shoes. He didn't want people to know him as Cash Money Ruckus' nephew or Derek's little brother. So it took years of him becoming a teenager into almost adulthood, doing his own music, for people even got the connection that this was Derek's little brother. But once it got out that he's Derek's brother, people automatically know he's Cash Money Ruckus' nephew. He sold pieces, and he would actually stamp his CD, tape his CD to the pizza on the pizza boxes as he was out doing his little pizza runs and all of this here. But he was only making his name for himself. He never wanted to
Right.
be known off of his brother's name and stuff like that. So I admire that about him, and he's a great rapper, and I never even knew he had that in him. So I'm grateful for him. I appreciate him every day, and I tell him, I let him know I love him.
If if
Mo,
before you
let
go
me.
forward, if I could just add something to you,
Hmm.
Miss Dorothy, if I had to give uh Mighty Lee some advice on that particular topic, I too
Hmm.
was one that's just like that. I would say I wish I would have embraced and represented the fact that I was G Slim little brother
Right.
sooner in my life. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Especially with my music. You know what I'm saying? I think that was one of the things that I did that kind of held me back to a degree in certain areas pertaining to the
Hmm.
music. So if I had to give some advice, I would say it's admirable to be your own man. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
However, it's also important to represent the value associated with the path that our brothers came before us and set and laid the footwork for us
Right.
too.
And as he
You
listened
know,
to his music, he saw how deep his brother was, like you said, ahead of his time in music and stuff like that. And I think it made him feel good, because people used to be like, man, why you didn't say you was Kenneth Derrick and all of that there? But for a long time, he didn't do it neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he grateful now. He'll boast it and tell anybody that's his brothers. That's his
Yeah.
brother.
Peanut asked the question: do you all think this is something that anyone can just get over? losing such a well-known, legendary figure as Derek and G Slim were.
No.
Oh, it's kind of a catch-22, man. Out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean? That's just the way the human brain work, man. Out of
Yeah.
sight, out of mind. And the wiles of life have you more focused on what you need to do for yourself and your family and the people that's actively here, as opposed to what you need to do for the people that's not. However, at the same time, when you get to doing your research and looking at the root thereof, you know what I mean? It's definitely difficult for anybody to overlook the fact that, man, these two dudes here, the whole New Orleans rap scene probably would be completely different if
Different.
these two dudes hadn't passed. Now, I mean, you can say that about a lot of artists, but you not really like these two dudes, bro. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying?
do.
So it's like I said, it's kind of catch-22, out of sight, not of mind. You'll forget. But when you really do think about it, it's kind of hard for you to just get over the fact that, man, these two dudes here,
Hmm. Yeah, I
never
I,
agree
I,
with
forget.
you.
I, I,
um,
I think on that, like, the difference with us losing a legend and just say a normal death of a human being or a family member, a son, a daughter, or
mhm,
I think the difference for us is like when we're just normal people, we are loved and missed by family and friends and stuff, and as time go on, even with families out of sight, out of mind. But when it's a legend, it's a different kind of loss because it's not only we are missing our family, but we got people all over this world
all
who
over the
know what
world.
yes, who know what these two people stood for and where these people would have went and where they would have been in life. It's no me speaking on him because his verse, his music speak for himself. Slim music speak for himself. Derek music speak for itself. So it's not what mom was saying, it's what the world seeing and saying. And the people who knew him, would know where, yeah, they were gonna be the next big hip hop stars or whatever, however, actors and a lot more would have came out of that, not just being an artist, they'll probably would end up being their own CEO because Derek don't like to be controlled by no one. So it was a lot that could have came out of their lives, and it was a lot that would have came out of their lives. When I look at stuff like BET and all of this different stuff, that was stolen away from my son. That was stolen away from him because that was his life. And so yeah, it's like I said, with the legends, they're known all around the world. You got people all over this world that love that person.
Yeah. So yeah, to reiterate, you know what I mean, to add on what she's saying, yeah, I could
Hmm.
definitely see, you know what I mean, when she put it in that perspective. Regular people are missed by family and friends. Legends are missed by cultures. You know what
And
I'm saying?
Peanut, piggybacking off of that, Peanut said, is getting that type of love from people all across the world, is it bittersweet or is it therapy for y'all?
Bittersweet for me. It's bittersweet for me, and I love it, but it's like Derek was supposed to get this. This is what he lived for. This was what he wanted. He the one like I'm gonna be known all around the world. Mama, you ain't got to work no more. Just give me a little time. My music coming out and stuff like this. And now the time to come, and he's not here to see it. Not in the physical, but spiritually, I believe he knows.
He knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Derek.
So good.
Mo,
I
let
rap
me
good
ask you
like
this,
I'm
bro.
sleep.
Let me ask you this, Mo. Would you being the father of a daughter
Three.
and three daughters, my God,
All right now. All right. No signs?
Yeah, I got one son,
Okay.
boy,
and
15, 6'3".
What?
Yeah. But go ahead,
okay,
Lucy.
so we know that for a long time, it's like black males everywhere were public enemy number one. Now we see women are under the gun too. Black women losing their lives today just as much as brothers are. We see that. Sonia Massey is an example of many. How do you go about navigating raising girls with hip hop today having such a strong and negative influence on them from young. We see it. How do you navigate that?
Um, Talking, man. I talk to my daughters. Even my 5-year old, she's so super intelligent. She understands. Like I can tell her something and she'll properly reiterate it to let me know she knows what I'm talking about. And
Hmm.
then she'll ask me another question from her own mind to see, okay, well, Daddy, you said this, so does
Now
that
what
go
you gonna
like
say?
this and that too? You know what I mean? So when I look at it like that, yes, baby. When I look at it like that, man, uh, I feel like regardless of the music that's out, though it plays a part, I still I it's it's like so important that I talk to them and talk them through all of that and ask them certain questions, you know what I mean? And create that whole space so that they can feel like they can talk to me about the things that they're most prideful about. You know what I mean? About the things that they are most insecure about. You know what I'm saying? I have to make sure that I create that space for them to open up so that I can then talk to them without being forcible, without being it's my way or the highway and that type of thing. You know what I mean? So I kind of gotta I gotta make sure, you know what I mean, I just communicate with them properly. Whether it's I help them navigate through their emotions. You know what I mean? When they're angry, or when they're emotional, most girls are like they're like butterflies, man. You know what I mean? They're just so innocent looking. You know what I mean? Or whatever, whatever. And I have to identify the fact that they did blossom from a caterpillar. You know what I mean? Because I come from the streets. I've been in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And I have to make sure uh, 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 I can't exude that caterpillar state to these beautiful butterflies, and I have to help them bloom and blossom. And it's so important that I communicate properly. You know what I mean? And communication is not just words, even though words have so much power. Communication is also just embracing their words too, and not trying to be dictative and controlling, all while still guiding them the right way.
What are some of you all's fondest memories of your legends, your brother and your son?
With my son, oh, I love when he was a little boy. He started mass in Indian. I think, probably about 7 or 8 years old, 8 years old, somewhere in that area. But I love the drive he had in him. I mean, he would compete with some of the best of the Indian tribes and stuff like that. And he stood his own ground and he talked a lot of trash as a young boy. I love the way that he felt like he was too good to walk in these kind of shoes. You got to get him some name brand shoes, and he walking down looking at his foot or something like that. They're like somebody gonna snatch his shoes off his feet and stuff. But just the laughter and love of us telling each other we love each other, and knowing that my son is striving to make a difference in all our lives and stuff like that. All the childhood field trips that we had, that I was right there by his side, and all his children got to know me, still know me to this day, from elementary into adulthood, going to school and all that. When something happened, I was right there by his side. So those memories are something that I cherish and that shall never die within me, amongst a lot of more memories. But yeah, that's some of my fondest, his childhood, school picnics and all of that there. Him out there on the streets massing in the end, talking his trash to the people.
So unfortunately, one of my fondest memories, man, was because of me partaking in things that I had no business partaking in at the age I was at. You know what I mean? So, as a reminder, Slim died when I was 13. Slim
Right.
was 21. I was 13. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, I started smoking weed at 12 when I broke my jaw. You know what I mean? Fresh out of sixth grade, I couldn't play sports no more. I started smoking weed, man. You know what I mean? Let me kiss it. Let me kiss it one more time.
It's so
Daddy
sweet.
kisses you. All right. But let me. All right. Put this medicine on. Boom. Let's go to her. It may hurt a little bit, but it's not gonna hurt forever. All right. And then look. Now hold it. Hold your hand out. Hold your hand out. Hold it out like that. Hold it out all the way to the side. See how far away from your heart that is? It's not gonna kill you, girl. My bad. So. All right, hold on, Daddy. I'm gonna come take care of it. All right, baby. Okay, give me a little while longer. So unfortunately, I started smoking marijuana when I was 12, man, and so I'm reminded of a time I was coming home from a football game. Like after our season was over, we used to uh, go play against other teams, go ride out of state, and all that kind of stuff, man. And I was coming home one day. We was coming home, and Slim was back. Slim was home. Slim was back in town. He used to be going back and forth to Cali. You know what I'm saying? And he used to smoke joints. He never smoked blunts. He used to smoke joints because he used to really be smoking chronic. You know what I mean? And dope. But because I started smoking, I kind of knew something about it. So I smelt him being home from way around the corner. And I was like, man, Slim home, son. I knew. I was like, Slim home. My little brother was like, how you know? I was like, you don't smell it? I smell it. Boy, that's that chronic. So look, I said, they was all sitting on the porch. You heard me? Him and all my cousins and all the OGs that I shouts out to the OGs too, man. Whole Killer Cartel and you know what I mean, original boot camp clique, OGBCC, you know what I mean, all them. They was all on the porch smoking, and I came. I was like, man, that's Indo. I know that's Indo. That's the Indo. But I'm not realizing I'm 12. I'm out of pocket.
Right.
There's my oldest brother. I'm out of pocket. Then look what he tell me. What? Boy, what you know about that? And when he said, boy, what you know about that? He got a voice, bro. He got a voice. He got a raspy voice, you heard me? When he said, boy, what you know about that? I said, nothing. And I start going inside. One of my cousins said, that nigga know what he talking about. That little nigga smoke, pardon my French. He come here. So I had to come. You know what I'm saying? So he like, so now I gotta answer him. He like, what you know about that? I'm like, man, I mean, I tried it. He was like, yeah, well, let me see. Let me see. So he forced me. If I won't be, you know what I mean? So that's kind of like a reverse psychology. But he thought it was gonna knock me down. But I knew what I was doing a little bit. So I proceeded, and he looked at me. He was like, man, this nigga know what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So like, I guess I messed his head up. You know what I'm saying? But that's the moment that I'm fond of. That's a memory that it seemed like it just happened yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And I can remember another time like for our homecoming. You know what I mean? Little league football and stuff like that. We got a homecoming parade. Well, boom. Guess who showed up for us? G Slim Deuce, you know what I'm talking about? He got the white Impala, the white drop top convertible Impala with the black rag top. You know what I'm saying? So we riding through. He driving us through the parade and letting us sit on the back of the 6'4". You know what I'm saying? Letting us sit on the back of the 6'4" in the homecoming parade. You know what I mean? He really put on for us. You know what I mean? So those are some memories that I'm fond of. And he died when I was 13.
If they were living today, knowing things about them that the world
When
would never
did you
know.
feel like it was time to tell your story, Mom?
Oh,
Well, shout out to Creole Wild West, my Indian tribe. I love them to death. New
mhm.
Orleans. Oh, what made me feel like it was time to tell my story? First of all, I was a dinosaur with this internet stuff. I've been on YouTube forever, didn't know nothing much about none of this. It just had those apps on. But as time went on, I started seeing a lot of stuff about my son, a lot of cap, and people want to tell his narrative, and it gets me when, a dead man can't speak. So
Mhm.
it is what it is with that there. But I will and forever be the voice of the voiceless, and that's Derek Leon Williams. But uh, I talked with my son a lot, and he felt like it was time for me to write a book, and I felt like I had the strength to now talk about him because I couldn't talk about Derek without crying, so it finally felt like I was able to talk about him, and that's what made me wrote that book. And that book, I did a lot of crying in me writing that book. It was, it was foggy eyes in every word, so it was kind of painful, but it was time for my voice to be heard, opposed to everybody telling Derek's story.
Everybody
And to this
else.
day, it's so much cap that goes out, but I don't try to trip off it so much. It aggravates me sometimes, but I don't trip off it because those of them who knew Derek in that city, Derek left a lot of love out there, and even if he was dealing drugs, he left a lot of money in out there with that, and stuff like that. There,
Yeah.
or how many people he didn't help pay their parents' bills and stuff like that. But nobody that came to Miss Earth and said, "Here, Miss Earth, here go $1." So it took
If they were
me.
if
It
they
took
were
me
living
a year to
today,
write my book. It took me a year to write my book, maybe a little bit over the year. I was also going through breast cancer at the time. I was stage 3 breast cancer. So I kind of was taking a break from it and things like that there. But because of what I had to go through and get my thoughts in order, and my first time ever doing it, with the book and all, it took a little time. I would even get brain fog sometime, and like I
right?
say, it was many days of tears. So, but it was an honor to me when it was all done, because I leave another part of the legacy of Derek Williams that he left on this earth. I continue it,
Right,
and
baby?
that'll never go away.
Okay.
If they were here today, Slim and Derek both, knowing things about them that the world will never know,
Next question.
where do you all see them today? What would you all see
Y'all
them
here?
doing today?
Are we still here? I don't think we can. Oh, okay.
I can see you. I hear you. I see both and hear both of y'all. What would you see
Say
them
something,
doing
Mo.
today?
Oh, can you hear me, Miss Daughter?
I hear you.
All right, so OG Lowe's asking the question. I think you can't hear him.
Oh, I can't then.
Can you hear me, sis?
No, I don't.
I
Oh
can
man.
hear you though, OG.
Okay.
Maybe you need to
I
relate
was
out to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
all right.
all
I
right. Yeah,
was asking
I'll
if
relay the question once he finished.
all right.
All
I
right.
was asking if Slim and Derek were both alive today,
Boy, they
knowing
trying to
things.
Mo trying to mess us all up on this one here, but the devil is a
Mhm.
liar. The devil is a liar.
Knowing things about the both of them that nobody in the world will ever know. What what would you all see them
Oh,
doing
you
today?
ever
Do
thought
you
about
think
writing a
Derek would
book?
still be rapping? Do you think Slim would still be rapping? What would you see them doing today? You think they still be musically involved?
So
We're
my what he asked my he said if both of them was here today, Slim and Derek, if they was still here today, knowing some of the things about them that we knew that the world don't know about them, what do we think they'll be doing today? Do you think they'll still be rapping, or do you think they'll be into some other things?
I think with them, first of all, they're gonna let this music thing go all over the world, and then I think they will be a CEO and pulling in artists themselves. And Derek loved to act, and so I'm pretty sure he would be into the acting. He loved to be a comedian. He loved cracking jokes and ribbing, and that's a part of New Orleans thing. And Slim probably loves some of that there too. So you never know, they might have been tag team in this world.
Hey, I could see it. You know,
Hmm.
Derek was younger than Slim, but I
Hmm.
could definitely see it. As far as
Right.
Slim, I mean, what man? I'm 41, man. So
Hmm.
Slim would be pushing 50.
Yeah, Slim. Me and Slim was
I'll
around
be
the
like
same age because
44.
I'm
I don't,
52.
I don't. When I think about Slim, I consider Slim as like the New Orleans Tupac, right?
Right.
So uh, when you ask that question, I ask myself, you think Pac will still be rapping today? Then I think about Jay Z. You know what I'm saying? I think about LL. I think about Rakim. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think about Will Smith, Fresh Prince. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Every now and then they'll pop out and drop
Pop
Hmm.
something.
out.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But they don't have to because their legacy is already stamped. So
I'm laughing at my son on here. You see what he put on? I'm sorry for cutting you.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah, I saw it.
yeah. Yeah,
He said,
yeah. He told me don't call you ma, but he don't understand that's just me showing respect because you're a
Respect
mother.
for telling.
Yeah, he jealous. Ah, well,
But
go stick your tongue on that pole full of ice like on the Christmas story, boy. But look, but now I think, man, something that the rest of the world don't know. Man, every last one of my brothers are actually talented with the rap. You know what I
oh,
mean? So I think if Slim would have been alive today, and it's not just my brothers, man. I have a bunch of cousins that's really, really, really super talented with the rap. Man, Tiffany Shantae, that's my cousin. That's my blood cousin. That's my first cousin. Man, she could sing, she
right.
rap, she act, she do all that. Tiffany Shantae from the city. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That that's my real blood cousin. Like, you know what I mean? Man, it's a bunch of us, you know what I'm saying, that have real musical talent. And if Slim would have still been here today, I think he definitely probably would have been CEO because he don't like nobody
Right.
telling him nothing to do
Right.
either, telling him what to do either. And he definitely and that is my cousin, man. That's my real cousin. Yeah, Tip, that's my
that is
real
so
cousin, man. But
serious.
I think he definitely would be a CEO. He definitely would be doing certain things. You know what I mean? He might be acting too because a lot of people don't know, man. Slim was so intelligent, man. Slim dropped out of school like in seventh grade. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't drop out. He got put out. He got put out indefinitely and did juvenile life, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, in terms of his education, stopped at seventh grade. But when you listen to him rap and listen to him
Yeah, that's
talk,
what I'm about to say. Well, you could tell from his delivery and his music, he was sharp.
yeah.
We
So
we can.
yeah, you know what I mean. So and like I said, yeah, you can't hear him. Yeah,
Right.
she can't hear you. But so when I think about that, man, I think it'll be a whole bunch of things Slim and BG Derek will be doing. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying?
And
See,
you
me
know,
and Derek might have a feature.
I, right, right. And even my son Mighty Lee, because I look at them, I'm like, Lord, and I tell him all the time, because you always can imagine my boys was 14 years apart. And I'm like, oh, Mighty Lee is big and tall like Derek and everything, and I'm like, and just imagine I'm having a child. My Lee just made 29 years old 2 days ago, and I got a 44-year-old son. I'm 62. And I'm just looking at where they would have went in life with both of these boys into music like this here, and things. And I believe it wouldn't have been no stopping at all. You know, Derek know how to make things happen, and Mighty Lee is a thinker. He know how to make things happen too. So
Since
it's
do
no
you
telling how high they would have went in life, and who all they would have pulled up with them.
do you see some of Derek in Lee?
Ma, he said, do you see some of Derek in Mighty Lee? Some of baby Derek in Mighty Lee?
I do because like Mona Lee is quiet, but when you go on his IG, he cracks all kind of jokes, and I was like, no, that's not him. And he got a little mouth on him too, but in front of me, he quiet, quiet. He don't do all of that in front of me. But yeah, I see a lot of he likes to crack jokes too, but he got his people who he gonna do that with, who he comfortable with, and stuff like that. So yeah, I see a lot of them in him, and I tell him sometimes, I say, boy, you remind me of your brother, cause you act some silly. When I look at some of this
Mm.
stuff, it be like, that's Delvin, But yeah, he got a lot of his brother in him. He likes to crack jokes. And in
Yeah.
New Orleans, we come up out for,
We
well, I
come
ain't
up
go to
with it.
ribbon. I ain't like to play because I ain't, I
Yeah,
ain't, I
we
ain't with
come up
all that,
with
that
it.
ribbon stuff. But
I
Derek
ain't
will
like
make
all the
somebody
ribbon
cry with
music.
it. And I have, have to shut him down sometime. But then he gonna make them laugh after he make them, he done piss you off. Now he want to make you laugh.
Make you
But that was
laugh.
a part of
Yeah.
New Orleans, come up with all that ribbon.
Oh, that ribbon. Yep. Time is far spent. So what I want to do is
Now, now can you hear
have
more?
have
Yeah, I can
both of
hear
you.
he now he's saying, of course, We done exceeded like the hour. We going on an hour and a half. Time is far spent.
Yeah. So
You
what I
know.
want to do is
Okay, son. See, I don't even know what time it is. Yeah, son, we like that ribbon. And see, they blocked us out because he was gonna play our music and all of this here. But it's all good. It's all good.
yeah, it's we ain't tripping.
It still
Flo,
is what it is. But
Hold up,
go
man.
ahead.
He trying to say something. He
No,
trying to
let her
say
go
something.
ahead. Tell her go ahead.
Oh, he said, go ahead, man.
I said they trying to block us all up. But I'm gonna let y'all know. I got this book I wrote about Derek, and it's a true story. Um, it's on Amazon. I'm gonna give y'all a little piece of it. I'm gonna give y'all just a little something of him.
Chuck it. Turn it down a little bit.
I'm gonna give you a little excerpt from one part on the title "Only Child." I can truthfully tell the world Derek was an only child for 14 years, but he was never a lonely child. He was an only child surrounded with family love and friends who loved to sleep over. A child who never got bored with himself and loved his family and friends as if I was a little old lady who lived in a shoe. Yes, he was a happy only child and somewhat spoiled to me, but never selfish to any. I could see why in life my son had numerous names he was called by, but for some, it's not what you called him, but what he chose to answer to. The journey gets more intriguing as you shall soon see. Derek's life get more inspiring. I don't play this down by any means. I speak from the heart with all I say to be true. Some may love, like, and even dislike, but my truth stands alone. I shall not hide the truth to shine light on anyone because Derek will want me to be honest. Be it good or bad, I too have always been a realist. I would have never thought this dirty, simple, plain, old, silent, shy me would one day give birth to a son who will be known all around the world as legendary. I have so much more to relay as every topic comes with a significant meaning, adding up to the person and the personality my son Derek Williams grew up to be. We often hear life change. That'll be it. Cut. Get the book. That's it. Get the book. Get the book. If you want to know more, it's in the book. Mother of a Son by Dorothy Harris. Amazon.
Can you hear me, sis? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. I don't know what's up with this volume. Mo, can you hear me?
I can't hear more now.
I know, right? Mo, can you hear me? I can't hear him neither. That's crazy. All right, well, you're gonna have to relay the Mo now. Being that the hour's far spent, man, let's close out. Take us out with something. What would you want to tell the city of New Orleans as far as it pertains to the music that's being put out today, the violence that's plaguing the city? What would you like to say to the people of New Orleans?
Stop selling an image, destroying our children, destroying our future. Because once they're gone, there's no coming back. And a lot of them, because of the music, you're hated not for what you've done nobody, but because nobody. Sometimes they don't want to even see you make it in life, and that jealousy kicks in. And when that person is dead, you didn't just kill that person. You took a part of that mother. That link is broken, and man can't put it back again. And mom has to go on. Sisters, brothers, dads, they have to go on living with that pain and that hurt of everyday life of missing their child and loved one. And I miss my child every day. I thank God for my child. I thank Him for my 21 years. My pain is real, and I live through it every day. I'm grateful to God that I got through this hill with you all, and I thank you all, Peanut, my son, OG, Mo. Me and Mo all coming together. But our pain is real. And after this show is over with, we still live with that pain with us, every day of our lives and stuff like that. So just think about it. When y'all go out there to pull a trigger, just think about it. You didn't just kill that person. Somebody loved that person. That could be the worst person in the world. Somebody loved that person. But you cut a life down from this greatness. You cut their life down from this greatness that although they're still shining around the world, they're not here to celebrate in that love of what they put that hard work in for. So just think about it. Quit selling dreams to these young children and let them live a life and give them some clean rap. Give them some clean real rap. You ain't walking in them shoes, so stop acting like you're walking in them. You don't want to go to jail, and you don't want to go to the graveyard. So stop sending other people's children down.
You sleeping? I'm just gonna feed it to someone instead. Mo, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Uh, Mo, you
I
still
look
there?
like, look like we
Oh,
lost Mo. Sis.
No,
I
Mo,
hear
y'all
can
can
you,
hear
you?
me?
Mo.
Yeah,
Y'all
we
can
can
hear
Yes,
me?
hear you. I,
yes,
Yeah,
Mo.
I'm back. That's P. Dot Nut the General hating on me. He don't want me to call you mine, pay my due respect. But
He
he
making you
had
go
me
off and on,
backstage
huh?
like I'm. Yeah, he had me backstage like I'm punished. Boy, Rude Delicate boy.
Son, I know you didn't do that. I know
what
my
would
son
you
didn't do
like to
that.
say something to the people of New Orleans for us Mo from a brother's perspective who lost an older brother, what would you like to say to the city and the rest of the nation abroad regarding hip hop music and what it's doing to our people today negatively?
Man, the first thing I like to say is, man, exude the love that you expect first and foremost. You know what I mean? You can't go around exuding hate and selfishness, expecting other people to love you, respect you, and support you. You know what I mean? If you don't support nobody else, the world don't revolve
Amen.
around you, bruh. You know what I mean? Whoever you are, the world don't really revolve around neither one of us. You know what I'm saying? So that would be my main message, man. Exude the love you expect. You know what I mean? Then when you give things, man, give and look for nothing in return. And you
Amen.
shall receive everything that you deserve. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the music, man, I think New Orleans the greatest music, the most musically inclined city in America. No offense to everybody else, man, but if you know the origin of music, man, it's jazz. If you know the origin of jazz, it's New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it like that, man, there's no way we should be behind. And I say we behind because we all separated, man. Everybody want to be the boss when we all could be bosses in one being in unity. You know what I'm saying? So man, it's no way that the city of New Orleans, you know what I mean, collectively, and Louisiana as a whole, you know what I mean? But it's
Facts.
New Orleans definitely, man. There's no way New Orleans should be light years behind everybody else in terms of in the industry. We should be running the world. We should be running the industry, man. Just look at it, man. They got artists that didn't come out in New Orleans, but that's from New Orleans,
Using
man. You
our
know what I
culture
mean?
and our sound. Yep,
Yeah, it's
I
not even
agree,
like
bro.
before we even get to those other artists that's using our sound. I'm talking about the artists that's from New Orleans, the actors that's from New Orleans that you don't even realize from New Orleans, man, because they didn't
Facts.
they didn't get their shine in New Orleans. They had to go somewhere else to get their shine,
Somewhere
man. But
else.
we got
Anthony
too
Mackie,
much,
Wendell Pierce, all them boys.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. We got too much power, too much talent if we come together. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, exude the love you expect, and you'll receive the love that you deserve, man. If we all come together, look at what the comedians in New Orleans done. Them dudes came together. All of the comedians,
Mhm.
they came together and made a movement.
And
That's
made
how
a
New Orleans
movie.
really started getting on the map. As of lately, you know what I mean? I'm talking about the Rob Cosby's, the Mario the comics, the Shamar, the all of them, man. No offense to nobody that I
Mhm.
didn't name. I'm just freestyling, man, because I be paying attention. You know what I mean? I pay attention to the city. It's so many more people, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't name, man, that are so significant in the industry abroad. You know what I'm saying? If we all came together, man, in Texas, and I live in Houston. The dudes in Texas, they came together Florida, they came together. Look at Detroit. Man, all them people come together. New York came together. Chicago, they beefing and come together. You know what I mean? Nobody would be able to subdue anything we got going on if we all came together. You know what I mean? Network and supported everybody. We got arguably the most talent in the smallest circumference. We got the most talent in the world.
I agree
And
with
so
you.
much of our great talent has been cut down too soon.
Cut
We have
down.
so many
Nothing.
great artists that has been cut down. Lives has been cut down. You know, it don't make no sense.
Take us out with a few bars, Mo. Give us some.
Uh, he, all right, let me see. He put me on the spot, man. I had my professional hat on.
Don't forget to
Ah,
give us the social media apps before we leave out.
yeah, my social media, Mo Better 3, MOEBETTA. You hear me? I say most say they hot, but I feel they not. Do the flows that I drop will make hell freeze over. And I'm no hover, but I'm so colder than the rest of these Batman rappers, no joker. I'm that flow of ice pick, no poker. A bear on the track, yeah, my spit's polar. Every time I touch a pen, the ink freeze up, so I don't write. I just hold a mic with mink gloves. South Pole flow got me and it freezed up. It's ironic though, cause when I flow, I never freeze up. I'ma never ease up. Flow hard like hockey. You better than me. I'm like, stop it, Aki. I do this for a hobby. You do this cause you probably trying to fit in like an ivy. I be trying to get spins like a timepiece. Watch me. Yeah, now I'm gonna leave him with that. Just coming off the top. Now I'm talking about Mo Better. MOEBETTA, the Morris Code, streaming on all platforms. You heard me? Then Mo Better featuring G Slim coming soon.
Oh, you a fool. You a fool.
And that was good. And I'm Dorothy Harris on Facebook. Mother was Stunner on IG. Exhaling the Silence on YouTube, and you can find my book on Amazon. Mother was Stunner by Dorothy Harris, or hit up official_Mighty Lee. Official_Mighty Lee. You can find it through him or Amazon. Mother was Stunner by Dorothy Harris. True story, no cap.
Amen. Nice to meet you again,
Same here, my love.
Miss Dorothy.
Same here. Same here.
Man, it's truly an honor. It's truly an honor.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been an hour with the elders. We pray that you all have been enlightened, inspired, and informed on this evening. Mo, we salute you, brother. Continued success. Hey, Lil, how you doing? Hats off to you, man, for raising them princesses the way you are. We don't see a lot of that, today, even though we know it's out there.
Yeah, definitely.
We pray that something has been said to encourage and plant a seed and propel the next life forward. And we want to shout out Sis. Shout out and rest in peace to BG Derrick, G Slim. Again, this has been an hour with the elders. Until next week, good night.
Good night.
God bless.
Love
Good
y'all.
Night. Love you too.
From us damn street niggas, we ain't really comfortable with all of that thing. So we just trying to say,
do what you do, baby.
I want to graduate. I seen to come up through the mud. You feel me?
Real.
Yeah. I'm saying, like I said, I used to be top. I'm one of the ones. When that nigga said he had a phone, his whole juice, and I'm looking.